remember I did one music video in my career.
Really?
I was like, oh, they might shoot for 20 hours.
Who was this for now?
It was Beyonce's Check on It.
Really?
It was my one, and I didn't even. I got there that morning, and because somebody had asked me to cover, and I'm doing a music video. What's this going to be about? And they're like, oh, it's just it's a sort of a rap, and then there's a bit of singing and whatever. They couldn't tell me. It's not that, they were. I just, will you do it? And I'm like, sure. The first AD was a bit hard to work with. A lot of people were like, I don't want to do it, and I was like, sure, I'll do it. And then I walked into Beyonce. And so my job was to make sure that she was ready for each scene and everything. So that was my one and done, was Beyonce.
Really?
There was nothing after that they could.
And how did that put you off music videos in general?
No, she was super nice. Her whole team were super nice.
Okay.
And Bumby and whoever else. It's long. A lot of people who do commercials will do music videos as well.
Okay.
There's more in commercials. You don't have to do all the paperwork. People make a career, make a lot of money out of doing commercials and music videos. Okay. I think for us, it's just in between. Right. Like, you're either going to do a TV show or a movie or something. You're not. Yeah. Because it's the same thing, though. You get in with a certain group of people and they'll hire you. Yeah. Okay. And then the commercial people are a whole other animal on their own. And also music videos. Yeah. So they tend to overlap each other.
It's its own thing.
Because we'll go off and do a job for maybe 10 months or a 4-month movie where we're not available. So those guys, commercials last for 2 or 3 days. Yeah. Music videos a day or two. Yeah. So they that's their niche.
Yeah, well, this was something I wanted to delve into a little bit today to give people an insight. Is what is the hour? Like you're saying there, it's from movie to a series to a movie to a series, depending upon what way the calendar is working out for the year. And you're working with a couple of different companies there. So is there any time off? What's the hours like? What's the work-life balance in that industry? How did you experience it?
It's a very, very, that's probably one of the biggest, actually it is the number one complaint. Is there is no work-life balance. There just isn't.
It's not there.
It's not there. It doesn't exist.
Right. Okay.
You kind of have to make it yourself, in the sense that, I guess for me, if I wanted to come home, for a long time I couldn't, doing things. But when I was on Sex and the City and I was doing that job for 5 months of crazy hours and and when that was done, there's nowhere you could go. Like the guy carded me at the it didn't card me at the airport when I asked for a drink, because we were supposed to finish and we finished 2 days later and we were doing late. I mean, I even brought dirty laundry home. I was just packing in the bag. I went to the airport and I asked for a drink at the airport, and the guy said to me, "Ma'am, do you not think you've had enough?" That's how bad I looked. Right. And it was from work. I haven't had a drink. Yeah. I told him I just worked a 20-hour day, and he goes, "This one's on me."
Very good, right?
How bad do I look? So that kind of stuff you would go. Yeah. There's a lot of people, families, houses, mortgages, they're on a job. The house gets bigger. The pool gets bigger. Yeah. And they're afraid to take any time off, because if you say no, then you won't get another job. And so I would always, especially with that job, you're good to nobody after you've worked on a job like that. Crazy. Yeah. I mean, you're just exhausted.
Right. And does that go 7 days a week, late nights?
No, but it goes 5 days a week. But by the end of the week, because you've got actor turnaround, the 12-hour turnaround, and you've got crews that are only down to an 8 and 10-hour turnaround now. Okay. You still have to, it pushes, so if you're finished at 8 o'clock at night, well, a lot of times it sucks for the crew, because we can switch the schedule around to have different actors come in the morning. Sure. So then you're only working on a crew 10-hour turnaround. Yeah. And technically it's 9, but they don't enforce the 9. But that's wrapping up, getting home, getting into bed. There's no form of chilling out. Getting into bed, getting up in the morning, going back to work. Yeah. So you really only have maybe 5 or 6 hours to yourself. Yeah. And for me, I'm answering phone calls from actors about the next day. So it's not, I mean,
never off, really. No,
you're never
when
off.
Them sets are rolling.
And at the weekends, if it's inclement weather too, you're carrying your schedule around with you and your script and things, because you'll get a phone call. Hey, we're not shooting there Monday. We're doing this. Now I would get paid, but still, you don't want to be paid on the one day, the 36 hours you have off.
Of course.
Because that's legally what they have to give you.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, very good. Well, look, because I wanted to ask you just about the work that's involved on the sets and the different locations, the time, all the commitment that's involved. And I think we have another slide coming up next, which is about, which one was it? The rewards that you got for some of this stuff.
I didn't get that.
Okay.
I didn't get that.
Okay, right.
That was not my reward. Actually, we did
Yeah.
we did win an Oscar for
Yeah.
Spotlight, but that was in the thing.
Right.
I happened to be in the production office for Bedford Falls, which is Ed Zwick, a big time director. He did
Yeah.
The Last Samurai, and also in there was the head of a samurai.
Really?
Yes, which
Okay.
was what I initially went for.
All right.
And those are the Golden Globe,
Yeah.
the Emmy, and the Oscar were in behind the head of the
No way.
of the Last Samurai. And so I
Really?
took the head at it first, just to feel it was so long.
Okay.
And then they were like, "Hey, you want to hold some awards?" And actually, we've won a Golden Globe with Sex and the City.
Yeah.
We've won Emmys with Sex and the City.
Yeah.
So I've been part of a team. I actually have won all of them.
Sure, yeah, you're
Yeah,
associated
yeah.
to all these awards in
Yeah.
different ways,
Yeah.
but it's a complicated thing to explain to people at home that it was
Yeah.
between TV series and big blockbuster movies, you know.
Quicker to shoot.
Yeah,
You have a lot more time to do a scene on a movie.
yeah,
Yeah, because on any given day, you might only have 3 or 4 scenes in a day
sure,
because, you're doing it. Everybody wants to see the wide.
yeah,
Everybody wants to see that Panavision.
right,
Okay. And it's going on the big screen.
sure,
But on a TV show, for a lot of them, there is not a lot of transition. So you're going from a room to a room, and some of them with more money now, you will have a transition into another scene, like maybe a car or a wide shot
Okay.
to see the building that you're going into.
yes,
Cheaper now because you've got drones. You can do all that now with a drone.
It's all on
But before
drones
it was
now,
cranes and a lot of money.
Yeah,
But you might
Yeah.
do 8 scenes a day or more on a TV show. So you're going like, I'm only 2 hours for this. So it's a wide master, and then it's into the scene.
Okay.
Where on a feature, you might only do 2 or 3 scenes. It might only be
Yes.
2 pages of dialogue
okay,
because it's all about the big wide and
yeah,
that's what you
it's
want
all
to
about the
see.
scene, the
Yeah.
extra bits and
If
pieces.
you're going to a movie theater and you're not seeing the Panavision and the wide, you're like, I always class it as, well, that's a movie that I didn't have to come to the movie theater to see.
right,
And there's some movies that you go, like Mission Impossible, has to be seen on the movie
to
theater.
experience
Yeah.
it in its
Some
real.
of them you get away
yeah.
with your 65, 75-inch TV at home. But others you won't. Like a Titanic has
Yeah.
to be seen on the big screen.
Of course. And is that the main difference between
Yeah.
working on a movie set versus a
Yep.
TV series?
Absolutely.
Is basically the volume of
The
what's
volume
required.
of the work and what's required and how fast you have to. TV is go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Movies a little bit more like we're slow down, depending on the
More
cast.
plan, more structure.
Unless it's an indie movie, and then that's a whole other beast. That's
Right.
just
Okay, very good. Well, I think the next slide shows you on set of another movie that we have. So this is Sean Bean and Christian Slater that you
Yeah.
with here.
By the way, that was our breakfast that the Russians give us for breakfast.
That was a Russian
That was
breakfast.
a Russian breakfast.
Right,
You can see there's
okay.
none in my hand on it. No.
I was just going to ask that. You were left out of this one.
I was left out of that because we being sneaky.
Yeah.
We got a cooler into the back, and they had all these Mercedes that they would drive us around in on the mountains. Very dangerous. Didn't never think I'd be.
Looking at the landscape, yeah.
Yeah. And these
Where
guys.
is this?
It's in Ukraine. It's in the Crimea.
Oh, right.
Because we
Okay.
were on a secret Soviet military base where they repair the nuclear submarines as well.
Really?
Yeah, it was insane. We were like,
Wow.
what are we doing here? We didn't have to give our passports up, but it
Wow.
was one of those like, did I really do that? It was
Incredible. How long did this set go on for?
2
Just the
months.
shooting? 2 months in
Yeah.
Crimea?
Yeah. Not a word of English did they have, and by the end of
No
it,
way.
the first week I could say good morning, good afternoon, and
Mm.
how are you? But great, really nice people.
Mm.
The scenery was insane. These boys were insane. I mean, everybody was doing this. It was kind of like a side job because it was for a Russian company with Warner Brothers.
Oh,
So, I mean, also on that job was Ving Rhames. Very
Ving
funny.
Rhames, yeah. Mm.
Colin Meaney,
Okay, oh, really? Cool.
and James Cromwell
Okay.
from
Sounds
Babe.
nice.
James Cromwell, yeah,
Okay.
well, and
Mm.
and Dominic Moynihan from.
Yeah.
They were all on Lord of the Rings together. My
course.
tease was always to Sean,
Yeah.
show me your tattoo, way up, because him and they all had their Lord of the Ring tattoos.
Oh yeah. I forgot.
Yeah, so
right.
that was an interesting one because it was
Yeah.
American heads of departments
Mm.
and Russian crews.
Wow.
So
what a mix.
yeah, and Russian stunt guys and an American stunt coordinator with a Russian stunt coordinator, but the Russians really did want to blow everything up, but they wouldn't tell you. So we could be
Right.
there shooting, and all of a sudden the side of a mountain's coming, and we're like,
Oh.
you're supposed to tell us.
Yeah.
But
Very
it was
good.
it was pretty iconic. Went to the fields of the charge of the Light Brigade for the what was the Crimea War.
The Crimean War. Yes.
Yes, it was wow.
A dramatic area. You can see from this.
And I gotta say that I can see why they fight over it because it is.
Is it really beautiful?
It's even all along the coast, and people come out at night and just on their little beaches and put the a milk carton down and with a light inside it and just light up their beaches.
All right, lovely.
I mean, it's a whole other world. I mean,
now you're talking there about the Russians. You're talking there about Sean Bean and yourself all being on set together. So there had to be some social evenings. The Russians like a good drink from time to time, So
well,
any late nights with the guys that can be talked about on camera?
well, I guess there was a few, but there's one in particular that stands out because I think it was what year were we shooting? It was whatever the World Cup was in the 2000, maybe in 2004.
2004 was the US, I think.
No, 94 was the US because I was there. I was at the Ireland Italy game.
Olympics.
But we were there, and the United States were playing England in a stage group, right? So at the time, the United States had 11 players all playing in the Premiership.
Really?
So I decided that I would put a bet on. Dominic Moynihan was taking a bet on the game, and I put like $300 on the United States to either win or tie. Because it was England, you never know. And because of those players. So Ving Rhames said he was with me, and we would go. And then Colin Meaney did the same.
Okay.
And so we were watching the game, and it started with the national anthem. So myself and Colin Meaney, he's a dual citizen as well. We sang the American national anthem. Much to the chagrin of Sean, was not impressed. And then he gave us a little belt of the English national anthem. And then it really went wrong when it was 1-1. And Sean got, not too happy.
Okay.
And a couple of words were thrown back and forward. And the main thing that was said was Colin Meaney to this day said, me and Andrea are citizens of our country. You're only ever going to be a subject to Her Majesty the Queen. With that, all the Russians are staring. It was a little bit of me grabbing Sean, putting him in a car, and exit stage right.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, let's not,
Very good. And
Don't
even the
poke
Russians picked up on that.
No,
one.
yeah, they were like, why? We're like, Ireland, England, and of course we're like,
I know.
both guys. I was like, come on now,
I know,
we're over this side of the world, letting the sides down.
Yeah, but you've also got the Americans and the Russians on the same set too, So
They were being pretty
yeah,
quiet, and the Russians were really. I mean, they were all most of them from St. Petersburg, and I believe I'd like to go at some point. But there was myself and Sean had a couple of nights with his favorite. Thank you for the day. That song.
Oh yeah,
That's his favorite. So
right.
But he's a really good guy.
He's
I
been
actually had a
some
lot
great
of fun
ones.
with him.
Yeah.
Because when you're on location, everybody, it's the location movies are the dangerous ones.
Right.
Because you all are bored and there's not a lot going on, and everybody becomes really friendly, and everybody's out in the bars. You do forget that you have to go to work the next morning. So anytime I've gone on location for anything I've done, there's always stories.
I'm sure
There
is.
are always stories.
Very
We're like
good.
lunatics being let out of the asylum because I think we
yeah.
never got out. But we work-life balance. So
It's the only
at this point
opportunity
we can do because you can just fall into your hotel room. You don't have to travel home.
Absolutely. And did Christian join in as well?
No, he was just out of a program.
Okay.
So I used to go to the bar and get him a Coca-Cola or a 7-Up and kind of pretend to him that it was something different.
He was on a different train at that
He
stage.
was on a different
he
train.
was. He'd done that for a long time, and
yeah.
he's had enough of it.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Really nice guy though too. Really nice guy.
Oh, very good. No, that's great. Let me see. I suppose continuing on with the journey, then we've another slide here that summarizes a few bits and pieces. We've talked about some of them already, but when we have this slide up now, I know we've talked a bit about Blue Bloods. We've talked about CSI New York. But is there anything that we've left out on your filming around New York? Because this looks like it's going to be
a movie that you said that you really liked was the Thomas Crown Affair.
Yes, I really did like the Thomas Crown Affair.
That was great because that was my first ever staff job on a movie.
Okay.
So it was a lot of interviewing. There wasn't a lot going on in New York at the time. So everybody was vying for these positions.
Yeah.
And I was the background production assistant.
Okay.
I said, this will be easy. No, you read the script and you know that there's all of a sudden you've got the Met Police, SWAT Police. You've got the Met Redcoats. All these people have to go to wardrobe. They all have to be fitted. They all have to come back. Now, I'm obviously not the wardrobe person, but I have to schedule all that in. The Crown and Bowlers on that, when he's going up in the New York Public Library.
Yeah.
Which was, that scene going up and down the stairs where all of a sudden he's encompassed by like 12 other Crown and Bowlers. So they can't find him. All those guys had to be 6'2", I think, I forget the arm length. They all had exactly their hair. They would, every couple of weeks, depending on where we shot in the sequence, you'd have to bring them in and line them up, and they'd all have to have their hair cut exactly like his.
Oh, really?
Because the camera was always on their backs, on their heads, because he's he has to put himself in the middle of there and disappear.
Okay.
So there's a lot of running up and down steps, on concrete steps with those guys.
Right.
And a camera being bounced off the wall, because we're all in there at the one. The camera's there, focus puller's there.
Sure.
I'm there. The director's there, and you have all the cast, and you have the stand. You have the extras. So it's all going on in a tiny little
one hallway.
Yeah,
It's
one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're working with legends of the industry there, like Pierce Brosnan, who turned out was he James Bond at the time?
He was James Bond. It
was
at
filmed at the same
time.
I remember the timeline.
He used to, because I lived at the time in Woodside, Queens. Which has all the Irish bars and all the Irish delis.
Okay. Yeah.
So I used to, same with Sarah Jessica, I used to be the keeper of getting the Irish chocolate and all the stuff. So I would come in, and I think it was Consuela Boyle maybe who was the costume designer on the Bond movies.
Okay.
And he said, "You're getting me into trouble. I can't fit into my Bond suits. Like no more chocolate, because from the Irish stores."
Okay.
He was yeah.
Excellent.
But that was a good movie to learn all the different, where everybody had to be, big, dining scenes, like Cipriani's and, building. They built that.
Right.
Built the interior of the Met. That wasn't in the Met. That was all the stage.
Okay.
There's all the special effects for when the bomb goes off.
Blow it up at the end of it. Yes.
So there was a lot of that, and John McTiernan directed that, who did Die Hard.
Really?
And we used to say he's like he wants to blow something up. And at one point we did, when the guys are coming in to rob the painting.
Okay.
We blew up the skylight. We didn't need to blow it up, but he wanted to blow it up.
He had to blow something up. Oh, very good. Right. And then his co-partner in that is Rene Russo. Which is a huge star.
That was a big deal for her, believe it or not, because that was the first time that she'd been a leading on her own.
Oh,
number 2 on the call sheet. It was a big deal for her.
So she was just getting up the steps in the ladder at that stage.
She'd done a bunch of stuff.
Okay,
but she was more of an ensemble caster. She was down on the call sheet. Obviously 1 is 1 and 2, 3, 4. But she was like 2 on the call sheet.
Okay,
and it was a point where a good portion of the movie is just her.
Yeah. Okay.
Her scenes.
Yes.
It's just. So, that was a big deal for her.
But portion of your job, Andrea, was to actually help her pick body doubles, was to help her do different stuff like that there. So what was it like going through that process with Renee?
They didn't ask me to do the Pierce butt double thing.
Really? I bet you're disappointed with that one.
A couple of guys came in and were about to drop their pants in the production office. And I'm like, whoa. And they're like, I'm like, unfortunately, no, I'm not getting to pick here for him. But I did get to pick Rene Russo's boobs.
Really?
Yes. But with her, she asked me to help her.
Okay.
It's kind of demeaning when you have a bunch of people standing there and you're going,
Really?
which ones are... And again, as my first staff job, it was... I didn't know. I mean, the involvement of, after Sex in the City, you know everything at that point.
I would have imagined so.
Yeah, but when I did,
like that.
this was before Sex in the City, so it was the first thing, and then again, we're running the background and having an important job, then being like, oh, do you mind coming? If you're heading back into the city, do you mind coming and helping me? I just I don't want to be in this place with 10 supermodels, and I'm like. The way home, I'm like, sure. And then the driver will give you a ride home. I'm like, great. It's all about the free ride home.
Okay.
But she was great. She was really nice. Okay. And yes, that was one thing that I didn't think. Other jobs, you definitely wouldn't, but she just wanted to hang out.
Yeah, because I can't imagine doing that in a regular job with your boss or whoever the manager is running that business. It's only for the movie industry, stuff like this.
And people generally come and ask you questions. You're like, to go talk to the wardrobe department or... Yeah. That's obviously the job for the actor and maybe the director. But at the time, she was just like, no, I just want to go do it and get it done. Will you come with me? I'm like, oh, sure.
Right.
Just one of those things we look back and go, okay, I just did that. Yeah.
Well, I do. No, it is a movie. I love the original movie and I do like the remake of it. There's something about each one of them which is unique in its own way. And there were
fabulous locations for that movie.
Yeah, it's set beautifully, isn't it?
By the way, mainly shot on an old used car lot in Yonkers.
Really?
Yes.
It's amazing.
Horrible to get to. I remember one day we went and we were just about to head in, and it was, the set was, you go in and you've got, the interior of the Metropolitan Museum here, interior Cipriani's here. It was just vast.
Sure.
All of a sudden one day there's like smoke coming, and we all had to like clear out. One of the lamps got too hot, and a little bit of a fire.
Right.
Which was to clear that made us go back in.
Right. Straight.
The cinematic immunity. They don't really care.
It was different in the 90s, wasn't it? It was different in the 90s.
Just inhale that smoke, go out and spit it out, and back in you go.
Continue on.
Yeah.
Get on with the job. Yeah, because that's what it comes across as. A lot of grit and determination is needed for this industry.
Look, it's not for the faint-hearted in the sense that if you want to know what job you're going to go to, next month or next week or maybe tomorrow, it's not the industry for you. But once you get going and you get a name for yourself, a lot of times you can pick, or you can do other things in between. I didn't have to go down that route because it got busy enough in New York, and I got in constant some big shows.
Yeah.
So, free time is because we didn't buy any. We paid our rent, but you could. But in Sex and the City, you buy clothes in the wardrobe, or you just go do your thing. You were fed every day.
Okay.
The prop department would give you bottles of champagne and really expensive bottles of wine. Take for the weekend. Only thing you had to do was bring the bottle back because they needed it for the scene.
Right. Okay.
So instead of taking it and pouring it down the sink, they give it to the poor production assistants.
Okay.
And back in the day, sleeves of cigarettes and everything was done cash. So it was like, just bring me these receipts.
No way.
So I was on one job and I'd be given the receipts for another job. Now it's all, cards and
everything's tracked and traced.
I had many nice dinners on, SJ's lunch. I mean, if they ever really read them, I mean, probably had, 5 lunches a day, we're like, that's just lunch.
Brilliant. So, if you were advising somebody now, Andrea, that is going on a journey like this, what would you say is maybe the top 3, top 4 key things? We just talked there about grit, determination. We also made the references during the conversation about the commitment that's needed for that position. But what else would you recommend to people who want to go on a journey like that?
I would, for me, it was a look of being in the right place, maybe at the right time, or showing myself. I think personality. I remember the executive producer on the Thomas Crown Affair. I remember him saying to me one day, he said, it's kind of 30% what you know and 70% personality.
Okay.
And so I would always say to people, number one, have a little bit of money behind you in some way, or if you have to live 6 to an apartment or 7 to an apartment, just do it. You're not going to be there anyway.
It's New York life, isn't it?
Yeah, well, or it's Irish life, not even Dublin life.
No, it is. Yeah.
It might as well be in, So you're not going to be around much. So you're always going to be on the go and looking for work. So you could really live in a shoebox.
Right. Yeah.
And I think for me, it was like, you gotta stay relevant to what's going on. even though it's hard because you're working, 18 hours a day. But I said to be aware that, you don't know where your next job is coming. That's the hardest thing for job security. You're never really going to have job security. Even though you do a job and you'll earn enough money at a certain point that you'll be fine for X amount of time.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for something more settled, it's not the industry for you. And if you the hours are long.
Right.
And you have to give up the work-life balance for the beginning part anyway.
Okay.
For the first 10 or 15 years.
Well, it sounds like sound advice. You've been through that journey. You've been on that road. So no, I just wanted to get some insights for the people at home that is the industry. And would you see the industry, is it similar nowadays or has it changed from the 90s, noughties type area?
It's changing. AI is going to change it, a lot. There's a lot of actors afraid for job security, what you can do and you can't.
Yeah.
And drones have changed. Like we used to, beating around trying to get your crane shot and lighting up Dundalk on the streets, a big crane. And we did that we did it with Tom Cruise in Times Square. We had to, for 3 weekends, we were locking up Times Square to get a scene of him running down. Vanilla Sky was the movie.
Oh, that's
and he's running down a very empty street. Well, it took 3 weekends of rehearsing before he came along.
Really?
With the cops, with us, with the hotels around. People had to check in around the back next to the hotel.
Oh my God.
Cops had to close off. There was 30 blocks to be closed off. So some of them were way up. They didn't even know what was going on. Right down to the middle of Times Square to have all the stores closed and not one person to be in Times Square. When we were shooting for a couple of hours on and off. Of course, cut and release. Yes. You let the masses back in and then lock it up. It's going to take you another 45 minutes to an hour to make sure that all the hotels are clear.
Yeah.
It's Times Square.
Yeah, this is Times Square, New York City, and you're trying to clear it and lock it down.
That was so stressful.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Stressful.
Yeah. See, the military would have a problem doing that.
Yes.
It's like a military operation needs to be performed.
And with, and safety comes into it too. Safety is a big one, especially in Times Square.
Yeah, I can imagine. You're on public streets and stuff.
Lots of stories from other jobs. Thankfully, none from mine. Yeah. That people have lost lives and lost limbs. And, it's always, if you do it cheap, gripping over dollars, save pennies.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, we'll move on to some of the other stuff because there's so much to get through. We might even do this into a 2 or 3 part series. I think we could keep talking here, but we'll just try and skim through 1 or 2 of the key points, really. Just watched it at the weekend myself. I do love it. The Family Man. It's such an iconic Christmas movie. The
Wonderful Life that we weren't told could be a wonderful life. We were saying it on set, it's a wonderful life.
Yeah.
And we were told you can't say that.
I know.
I said it anyway.
Yeah. Director didn't like that on set.
Well, the producers didn't, because they didn't want it to be compared to It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
How could you compare anything?
No.
But
they wanted it to be its own thing.
Shot in mainly New Jersey.
Is it? Okay,
in a very Hasidic, Orthodox Jewish neighborhood.
Really?
They paid the big bucks to take over their houses and their streets and turn it into Christmas, which they don't believe in.
Sure.
So, interesting.
I'd say you were popular in that area. All right.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
But that was it. I think I did part of The Interpreter with Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
And I did Family Man with Nicolas Cage. And I feel like Lord of War.
Lord of War.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I've worked with him now 3 times.
And what's Nicolas Cage like on stage? People say, I don't know. It's a mixed bag of...
It kind of is. It's just a...
different personalities, different days type stuff.
No, he's very introverted kind of...
method act.
I don't even know if it's method or if it's just saying who he is. I mean, I've worked with the method guys, and I get the method.
Okay.
James Gandolfini was one of the unbelievable for that. James Franco is another method guy.
Yeah,
you get them. I'm always more amazed at the ones that are not method who can just turn it on, turn it off.
Right.
This kid it was just himself. He's not the overly as friendly as kind of strangers.
Interesting.
But easy to work with, and that's fine. To come in and out of their trailer when they come to set knowing their lines, no matter who they are. That's when I say nice or not nice. It's like having like a lot of the new actors I feel coming up now, the younger ones, respect the process more, and are not Hollywood movie stars that won't come out of their trailer unless the Gatorade is a certain color or if the M&Ms are not a certain color. that doesn't happen anymore because there's so many more actors around now with and that with all the streaming services. There's just so many TV shows. There's so much going on.
Sure,
Like
sure.
10 years ago, 15 years ago, you could watch a show and tell everybody and remember, the show. Now you can't remember one you watched 2 nights ago because there's so many of them.
There is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's saturated.
So the
with
actors
players.
are coming. So you misbehave. There's a script with your then Dick Wolf is great. He started that.
Yeah.
Here's a script with your name in it. Here's a script with your name not in it. Pick.
Right.
Yeah. So when the driver comes to pick you up in the morning, and if you're not there because you've been out the night before, that's the script for you right there.
Absolutely.
Your name's not in it.
Very good. What about this one here that a lot of people do love, the Sweet Home Alabama one? How was that? What was that like to work
I
on?
did just the New York portion of that because
So
I
it's
think
the
they
New
went
York
to
thing. Yeah.
Tennessee or somewhere for the.
Yes.
So interesting. My first day on it, we were at Tiffany's.
Tiffany's and Co.
Yeah, so it was fantastic. It was Sunday, Tiffany, they closed to close. So sometimes your schedule, not Monday to Friday, it could be Sunday to Wednesday. Depending on a lot of times the locations. If you're down in Wall Street,
Okay.
doing anything down there where you need to be there when they're not there. So Tiffany's was the same. So I spent, a while
Yeah.
trying on,
Yes.
250,000 jewels and having a good time. And McDreamy, I didn't even watch at the time. I didn't watch.
Really? McConaughey, you didn't know?
No, I didn't watch the Grey's Anatomy back then.
Okay.
I was working. I was like, it was
Of
a couple of
course,
shows.
yeah.
But he was really nice. Reese Witherspoon, it was just easy. She's a total pro. You could see that her career was going to be, a producer.
Yeah.
Same as Margot Robbie. You could tell right off the bat. I did her first first American show.
Really?
A show called Pan Am. Didn't go. It was cancelled.
Okay.
And it was a massive production.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
our first ever show in the United States.
Right.
And we all could tell.
She was going to be
She
a
was going
star.
to, because
That
her
was it.
comedic talent,
Yeah.
her everything talent, her knowledge, her friendliness with the crew, just the whole vibe was very Aussie sort of English. They just melt and mold in, and super talented actor.
Okay.
So you kind of,
Yeah.
you know, when
Wow.
you know. And same with Reese Witherspoon, she was just nice. It was a crazy one because we did a lot of the big iconic, anything big in that movie was done in New York.
Right.
So there was nothing, when we say we're doing the hard portion.
Yeah.
Because they're in New York because they want to see New York.
Yeah.
Well, they want to do red carpets and they want to do all kinds of big things. So yeah.
Yeah. And what is it, Andrea, about a Reese Witherspoon or somebody like that, or a Margot Robbie? What's different to them than somebody else that has just walked on set? How do you know that they are going to be a star?
Well, for a lot of them, you can feel, even with child actors, when you see them coming, you just know where the camera is, if that makes sense. They know how to
Okay.
feel their way into the
Are
camera.
they comfortable?
You're very comfortable.
Yeah.
And very prepared. And just have...
Yeah.
There's no drama. Like A-listers, a lot of the times, I'd say the A-listers are easier to deal with than the B's and the C's. Because
Yeah.
they come, well, I want this and I want that.
Yeah, yeah.
They just don't ask for anything because their agents and everybody else does it. And it's all, before the job starts.
Sure.
So that's where you do, what size is the trailer, it's on everything.
Yeah.
So it's just a charm, a charisma, and just wanting to know everything that's going on. She was another one that sat on set
Okay.
on her chair. In between setups, she was there.
So they have
She
an
was
interest in what's
watching.
going on.
Margot Robbie was the same. They're watching what's going on.
Learning.
Become friendly with the crew in some ways, just to keep
Gotcha.
going on and not just
Yeah.
trailer to set.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's just you're watching them. They're just taking it all in.
That's their star quality.
Yeah.
It's different. They're different on set. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Well, look, Andrea, I could just talk to you all day long. I really could. And I think we're going to get you back at some stage for
because
to
I have
continue
a
the
little doggy at
conversation.
home
Have
who's
you?
probably crossing her paws right now.
All right, okay. Yeah, well, if there's anything you wanted to get in at the end of the show or anything like that, it's not a problem. We can bring you back for another show in a couple
If you guys
of
want,
weeks.
and we'll see how this one
Yeah.
plays out. I hate the sound of my own voice, so this could be really interesting.
Not at all. You're seasoned professional. Well, look, just for coming today now, we just thought we'd get you a little gift and give you some products, some beauty products and some health products and stuff like that there. So just to say thanks very much for coming along to the show and giving us an insight into all this different
I
stuff.
know this product, and I really like this product,
Okay.
and this is so cool. Very well.
Welcome.
Wow.
You're very
Won't
welcome.
be complaining about my aches and pains this winter.
There we go. Well, Andrea,
All
look,
about-
thank you for your
You're
time.
very
This has
welcome.
been such an insight. And again, we could go through the stories all day, but that's
Okay.
been wonderful information for people at home on a
And
local
I've
story.
probably had a few drinks. I might tell you the other stories. But
maybe
that's
maybe the next time. That's for the next show. Well, listen, thanks very much for everybody at home joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for having me.
Really great. So thanks very much. I think we'll wrap it up there.
Okay.
That's great. Great.
Thank
Thanks
you.
very much. Wow.
Yeah, to you guys.
Wow.